Hello, my dear students. Welcome you all to Sri Jaindra Rank Zone classes. I am your mentor and your friend for the subject biology, and I will be taking the zoology part, that is animal science. My dear students, in the last lecture, we have completed about positron emission tomography. We have completed magnetic resonance imaging, computed tomography, and the PA chest X-ray or X radiography. Today we are going to start with sonography or ultrasound imaging. So starting with the first slide, Olaf Ramel, Olaf Ram Donald in 1958 discovered or proposed the ultrasonography technique or ultrasound imaging technique in the terms of medical science. So Olaf Ram and Donald in 1958 they discovered the process of sonography or ultrasound imaging. It is a non-invasive technique which uses ultrasound for producing images of body parts. So, for production of the images of different body parts and use of a non-invasive technique, non-invasive technique simply means it doesn't allow to be used with any internal procedure. So it is a non-invasive technique. It doesn't allow to be injected or it doesn't require any component to be injected inside the body. I'm talking about the normal ultrasound imaging or sonography. Okay, ultrasound. It is a sound beyond human hearing power that is above 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz. Diagnostic ultrasound used in sonography has a frequency of 1 to 15 megahertz. Okay, 1 to 15 megahertz means 1 million oscillations per second. So the diagnostic ultrasound which is used to diagnose or to find out any find out the normal or abnormal body functioning. So the frequency of the sound wave which is used is 1 to 15 megahertz, that is 1 megahertz is equivalent to 1 million oscillations per second. Ultrasound in a it is produced through a material having a piezoelectric effect. Here electric potential is applied to the crystals, means the piezoelectric crystals. Piezoelectric crystals, they are sensitive to vibrations. They are sensitive to vibrations or sound. Okay. So in this ultrasound technique, the ultrasound is produced by using a piezoelectric material, piezoelectric effect. The electric potential is applied to the crystals, the piezoelectric crystals of lead zirconate. Please remember this term, lead zirconate, okay, in the transducer. Okay, so the transducer is having lead zirconate. That lead zirconate is provided with electric potential and it produces to vibrate. It produces a sound which is ultrasonic. Okay, the crystals vibrate after being potentialized and produce ultrasound. The ultrasound is partially reflected as it passes from one layer to the other. So it is partially reflected and it goes from one layer to the other. The reflected waves are picked up by lead zirconate crystals. The reflected waves they are picked up by lead zirconate crystals and changed to electrical signals. So these reflected waves which are taken or grasped or captured by lead zirconate crystals, they are changed to electrical signals. They later produce a visual image, which is observed over a computer screen. Sonography provides images to all organs or regions of the body which are different or become different in density from the surrounding tissues. So if the density which is maybe of the extracellular or the intracellular fluid. So every cell is having both the extracellular compartment and the intracellular compartment, and the distribution of the fluids is accordingly. So that is why the density of these two regions are different, and the other regions of the body also, the density is different. So this density of the particles basically reflect the sound waves accordingly. So the density which is more or highly packed particles, they will reflect more, and the particles which are having less density, the reflected waves get diffused. Okay. So the sonography provides images to all organs of the regions which are different in the density distribution, okay, of the surrounding tissues. So you have to remember the lead zirconate, which is basically the material, okay, a crystal which is piezoelectric. It basically receives the reflected waves, okay, and change into the electrical signals. So piezoelectric simply means the agent or the material which converts the sound waves into electrical signals. So conversion of sound waves to electrical signals. It is basically piezoelectricity. Now coming to next, ultrasonography. So these two pictures, this is the ultrasonography of almost developed or developing fetus of around 8 months. Okay, and this is the ultrasonography just telling about the heart and different chambers. Okay, sonography is also called echography. Okay, for its clinical examination, a sonographer places a scan head or transducer in contact with the area to be scanned. A layer of aqueous gel is applied between the skin and the scan head to ensure that the sound has an air-free path to the object of interest. For example, a fetus. It is a safer radiographic technique, it is non-invasive, it is comfortable, and it is inexpensive. Like in PET scan, we come to know that the diagnostic procedure, it involves the distribution or administration of a radio tracer. Okay, so in case of sonography, the procedure is non-invasive, mean the radiations, they actually are not going to harm. Okay, so non-invasive means there is no radiation exposure. Okay, so it is non-invasive, it is a safer method, okay, especially for the fetal examination. Fetal examination, especially in the second trimester. Okay, so it is a best method to confirm or to diagnose or to predict the fetal growth. Okay, in second trimester, I mean almost all the trimesters are covered. Okay, the uses of ultrasonography, there are many uses, I mean it is multi-dimensional. It is used to assess fetal growth and to pick up a wide range of abnormalities, especially the genetic anomalies such as spinal bifida and the conditions liable to cause difficulty in labor. Okay, so it is used in assessing the fetal growth, to pick up a wide range of abnormalities such as spina bifida, a condition liable to cause difficulty in labor. Spina bifida is the cervical process or the spinal process of spine. It gets bifid, right? Ultrasound imaging is used to investigate the internal organs such as liver, gallbladder, kidney, stomach, uterus, heart, etc. So ultrasonography is used to diagnose the internal organs such as liver, kidney, gallbladder, stomach, uterus, and heart. It is a related technique. Okay, when a related technique having the same root of origin as ultrasonography was having. So this technique is a modification of ultrasonography that is known as a Doppler ultrasound, which is a 3D Doppler ultrasound scanning used to investigate the flow of blood in vessels and for detecting the blood clots. So a 3D Doppler ultrasound or a color Doppler ultrasound, it helps to diagnose the different types of hemostatic disorders having a blood clot, a thrombus formation, or an emboli formation in the major arteries. Understood? Incoming blood red, outgoing blood blue. Okay. When incoming blood is red because of high or large amount of presence of heme or hemoglobin, okay, oxygenated blood, and the outgoing blood is blue. Why? Because it is having deoxygenated part. The sonography is also used to image the adult body. It gives or it opens the broad spectrum to investigate the pictures of blood flow through the beating heart based on the phenomenon known as Doppler effect. Okay, the Doppler effect is basically a term which is used in physical science or physics. Okay, related to the wave nature of sound. Related to the wave nature of sound. Echocardiography is a sonographic or ultrasound imaging of heart, great vessels, heart walls. Okay. So it is used to investigate any mitral valve disorders like mitral stenosis or any valvular disorder. Valvular disorder. It helps to diagnose or it helps to, image or provide the pictures of heart, great blood vessels, okay, valves of the heart and heart wall, myocardial walls. To know abnormalities, also used to record blood flow velocity and blood turbulence. Okay, whether the blood flow is streamlined or sluggish. Okay, whether it is streamlined or turbulent or sluggish. Understood? Sluggish means it is not flowing properly. Okay. Advantages and disadvantages. There is no exposure to radiation. That is why it is known to be non-invasive procedure. It is a non-invasive and painless procedure. Okay. There is no harmful effect in men, especially post-cancer patients. They can be diagnosed. They can be, ruled out with secondary growth or secondary infection by this technique, right? It is less expensive. The images can be obtained in any plane. Disadvantage is this: the ultrasound imaging does not penetrate bones, so it is only for soft tissue. And air-filled spaces, so it is not useful in diagnosing abnormalities in skull, lungs, or intestine. Resolution power of ultrasound imaging is inferior to CT scan and MRI. Mean Micro anatomical details cannot be presumed. Okay. So advantages are it is non-invasive, radiation exposure is very less, it is not harmful to man, it is less expensive. Disadvantages there, it can only diagnose about the soft tissue, hard tissues are not involved, especially the tissues which are having air filled in them, you know, like lungs, okay, or intestine. Resolution power of ultrasound imaging is inferior to the CT scan and MRI. So this is about the ultrasonography. We will be starting the electrocardiograph in the next turn. Till then, bye bye, take care, stay safe.